Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. Why is my shirt looking like it needs help this morning? I don't know. So, how is everyone? How are you? Please bear with my voice. I have a little bit of a cold, so I know it's making my voice sound wonky, but it's fine. So, how is everyone? All right, we're live on Facebook. Um, we're live on Instagram. Awesome. Um, Let me just confirm. Okay, I'm not seeing us yet on LinkedIn, but I want to believe we're live on LinkedIn. Okay, it's not showing, but I want to believe we're live on LinkedIn and we're live on Facebook. YouTube is what I meant to say. So yeah, okay, we are live on LinkedIn. We are live everywhere this morning. How are you doing? How is your day? Please let me know if I'm audible. Like I said, I know my voice is a little wonky this morning. Mhm. Okay, so I've checked on Facebook and it's quite audible. Okay, so welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. I think I'm going to button this up because it's looking weird. I don't know whether it's only me that's feeling that it's looking weird, but it's just looking weird to me. And it's not even allowing me to button now. Interesting this morning. So, okay. I think we got it. Finally, yay! We got it. It's still looking weird. So, I don't know. Something is wrong with this shirt today, or it's just me. Anyway, so let's yeah, welcome to Growth Habits. You know, this is us. We are live and we are real. Okay, well, let's leave it like that. All right, so we started this series in the month of September where we're talking about money habits. Um, Money habits that help you build wealth, um, not just money habits, but that will help you build wealth. That's what we have been talking about in the month of September. We began with session one in this series, and we talked about mindset before money. That is rewriting our limiting beliefs, because many of us, including myself, we have some beliefs about money. We have a way our mind is wired once we hear money. But we talked about changing those beliefs, changing that mindset, um, because the mindset you have towards money, the way you think about money, will determine how you do financially. It will determine if you grow financially or not. Many of us don't even think that we have a right to have money. Many of us don't think we should have money. And because we think we should not have money, we do not have money. You understand? So our mindset towards money needs to change. And our guest that day told us that we need to stop making money to be all that, because it's not all that. Money is good. Without money, there are a lot of things you can do. We agree. But money is not all that we make it out to be most times. We give it more credit than it deserves. Money is meant to be our servant, not our master. And we make it out to be the master most times. So We talked about being able to change that mindset, change that belief. And once we are able to do that, once we're able to change our mindset towards money, our relationship with money changes. We also talked about that, the set of skills you need to make money, they're quite different from the set of skills you need to manage money. Okay, so those were the things we talked about in that first session. The second session, we talked about budgeting. Now, we are now getting into the management of money. And we talked about budgeting. That was last week. That's telling your money where to go. And we said that that is what basically what budgeting is all about. Telling your money where to go. Because if you don't tell money where to go, it will go where it likes. It will go anywhere that it likes. So we need to budget so that we tell our money, this is where you're supposed to go. This is where you're supposed to go. Okay, it's like we froze out for a second there. I hope we're still connected everywhere. Yeah, so that was what we talked about last week. Being able to tell your money where to go, prepare a basic budget. We said you can do the simple 50, 30, 20. Somebody sending me messages. 50, 30, 20 ratio for your money. The simple budget: 50% your needs, 30% your wants, 20% your savings. Are we still live? I want to believe so, because I'm just seeing um I'm seeing the network go off and on. So I don't know what's happening. Please let me know if you can still hear me. Am I still live? Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if I am audible. Okay. So yeah, we talked about that budgeting that last week, telling your money where to go. Telling your money where to go. And we looked at, like I said, the 50, 30, 20 rule of budgeting. You can start with that simple budget. 50% of what you make goes to meet your needs, 30% your wants, 20% your savings. And that is a basic, simple way to start. That is what we talked about last week. So today we're going to look at save, sow, and spend wisely. Is what I call mastering the flow, because there is a flow. There is a flow of money, and we need to master. I don't know what's happening to my network today, so I'm trying to check up on other places, and it seems to be hanging. So today we're going to be looking at mastering the flow, and this flow is from where you earn money, to saving the money, to investing the money, to giving the money out, to spending the money. Because if we don't direct that flow, okay, Charity, I can see you on Facebook. Thank you. Welcome. So um, if you don't direct the flow of money, life itself will direct it for you. That is a sure banker. That you can bet on that. If you don't direct the flow, life will do it for you. Life will do it for you. So it's essential that we do the directing, that we're in charge, that we determine how our money that we make, how it goes. Because truly, if you don't, life will do it for you. Okay, looks like once again we're having some kind of delay in Facebook. Please let me know if you can still hear me on Facebook. I'm seeing a lag on Facebook, so I don't know whether it's from my end or is everybody can notice the lag. So please let me know if on Facebook if there is a lag because it's cutting off from here. Okay, so that is what we're going to talk about today because money is constantly moving. This is for sure. Money is always moving. It's either moving towards growth or is moving towards waste. So money is moving. The key or the important thing is to master the flow, to be able to balance your savings, to balance your sowing, to balance your spending, so that none of them is being done too much and none of them is being ignored. Please bear with me and this my code. I know I know my voice is sounding wonky for sure. I can even hear it myself, and I can. I'm also sniffling, so just bear with me. I just couldn't miss this session. All right, so that's what we want to um, look at today. Because if you don't have that balance, if you are saving excessively, if that side of your money life is out of whack, that is, you're saving excessively, it means that you're going to be working from a place of fear, and you'll be hoarding money, and you will not make any impact on anyone, or any, in fact, you will have zero impact because you're just hoarding the money, you're just saving the money somewhere, and probably not even in a very good um, vehicle for the savings. Then if you now go the other side and you are sowing excessively, it means you're giving your money out recklessly and you're doing it without planning, which is also not the best. Is also not the best. And then if you're spending excessively, then you're living beyond your means. So you see that there's a need to have a balance. You can't allow any side to be too much. You can't allow the sowing to overtake the savings. Neither do you allow savings to overtake spending. You just have to find the happy medium, as they say. You have to find the happy medium where you save, you sow, you spend, all in good portions. Okay, so that's what we want to look at today. So let me just do some basic definitions. What does it mean to save? For me, savings is a way to secure your future. Is a way to ensure that you build foundations for the rest of your life. So you secure your future by setting aside certain amount of money, and you usually do this for in case of emergencies, or you do this because you have a specific goal you're trying to reach, or there's an opportunity you want to be sure you're ready for. So you save. So putting aside a portion of your income in order to secure your future. That is savings. That is savings. And there are different ways. Remember, if we remember in the Bible, the story of Joseph, he worked to save 20% of all the grain of Egypt. 20% of all the grain of Egypt. And after doing this, when the famine set in, he was able to have the country on a strong footing. So we do need to have a plan to save money. I think I've said this severally here, where I used to have a direct debit on my salary accounts when I was earning salary. I don't know what fell. When I was earning salary, I had a direct debit on my salary accounts, which was my savings. And I moved it to a savings account where I no ATM card, nothing. I didn't have access to. Okay. So I had no choice but save that money. Because I know myself. That is, I've always said this whenever I talk about any topic. You have to understand yourself and know what works for you. Not because I'm able to save 20%, you have to save 20%. No, not because that is what we tell you. 20% is the best. There is no best, really. There's really no best. But there are some good practices. There are best practices, which is like save the 20%, save 20%. But I had to put in a system where that savings was automatic. Because if I don't, myself personally, I would not move that money out. If that automatic system was not there for me, I would never save any money. I know me. And you also have to know you. You also have to understand what works for you. You have to understand what works for you. So I did set up that system, an automatic debit on my account at the end of each month, or was it the first week of the next month? I really can't remember the timing now, where all the years that I was working. So that money would move automatically to a savings account. And that savings account, I had no ATM card on it. I had no ATM card on it. Intentionally, they would give, the banks do give, but I would tear it up, cut it up, throw it away, because I don't want to spend the savings. And once I have the ATM card with me, I will spend. I will spend. I know myself. So, excuse me. So there was no ATM card. I even tried not to get it on my app. So I couldn't access that money unless I walked into a bank. And if there's one thing I don't enjoy, it's going to the bank. So you know that before I go and touch that money, that thing is serious. So find what works for you, but ensure that you are saving. Ensure that you're securing your future by setting aside some amount of money. Forget about how much it is. Some of us were, stuck on until I save millions. No, save the 1000s. Start small. Start where you are. You must not save millions. No, I see people who do these things on social media where they break their piggy bank and you see millions. Forget about that. Honestly, remove your mind from that. Praise God. Thank God. Glory to God for them. They saved millions. Good. They should. Save your thousands. Save your own thousands. That is what is important. So start. Don't just say, I will start. Start the saving. You can, they tell us in finance that you should have like 3 months worth of expenses saved up. That's the amount that will cover 3 months worth of expenses. You should have it saved up somewhere. Start with that. Start with 1 month. Honestly, I don't even believe that you must have 3 months right off the bat. Start with 1 month worth of savings. What will cover your 1 month worth of expenses? Or start with just saving anything. Save money. Have savings, saved money. Don't worry about whether it will cover 3 months worth of expenses. Don't worry about whether it will cover 6 months. Just save money. Have some savings somewhere. Secure your future. So start small. Start small. And then, like the example I gave, automate it. So when you automate your savings, it takes off that idea of, oh, I forgot. You don't have to remember. You do not have to remember. So automate the savings as much as possible. I gave the example of the direct transfers I have on my account while I was earning a salary. It's not easy for me to do that now since I'm not earning a salary. So, I wouldn't want to put a direct debit on my account and then when they go to take the money, there's no account, there's no money there. You understand? But once you have a regular source of income, do a direct debit for your savings. It is not hard. Walk into your bank, at least in Nigeria, walk into your bank and set it up. You might even be able to set it up from your bank app. I'm not sure about that. I might have to look at that, but I know you can walk into the bank, set up a direct debit, moving every month at a specified time. That amount is taken out of your account to the account that you want to save. Automate it. It makes it easier when you automate it. So you don't have to think about it. Some months you will forget if you had to be doing the transfers yourself. So do a direct debit, automate your savings. And then, I mean, you don't have to save in bank accounts per se. You can save in other high yielding savings accounts. Most banks have that. You don't have to do a regular savings. You can do that. You can use their apps. I think I spoke about Piggyvest last time. Piggyvest can help you save. There are others. I think the one that I saw recently is called Rise. I think. I believe there was this young lady that attempted a trip um, to all the continents of the world recently in 90 days or something, or 90 hours. I can't really remember. I think it was 90 hours or something. She talked about how she was able to save up for that trip. She used Rise. So there are many apps. There are things that can help us with this. I welcome Ebele Ediokafo. I can see you on Facebook. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. So yes, use the tools. Use the tools. There are so many available. I've told you two that I know of. Make use of them. Save money. Ensure that your future is secured. You can't, well, of course, you can't secure it completely, but at least do something. I remember, see this, it looked small then. The savings I was doing while I was working, it looked small because now, one particular time, one of the places that I worked at, those days, we were all, somebody came from the bank and talked to all of us to set up this high yielding savings account and what have you. And because I was the accountant, I knew how much was going out of some people's salaries into that savings because it was the same bank that did our salaries, and we had to set it up as the account department for those deductions to leave the people's accounts. And really, initially, when I saw what some people were saving, I felt inadequate because I felt what I was saving was just too small. Really, I was like, Ngozi, see what you're saving, see what your mates are saving. But I didn't allow that to stop me from saving that my little. And years later, when I was not working, I saw the benefit of that little that I was saving. I saw it. It looked like little. It looked like it didn't make sense, but it made sense. So don't allow comparison with somebody saving 1 million, somebody saving 200,000, and you're only able to save 10,000. Save your 10,000. Save your 10,000. It is fine. So start now, start today. Don't put it off. Start small, automate it, and then use the tools that will help you. They are tools. Make use of them. And I think that's basically what I want to say about savings. The next part of the flow that we are looking at today is sowing. And this is basically multiplying what you have. It's different from savings because, yeah, savings gives you interest, yes. But when you intentionally sow, you're not looking for savings level interest. You're looking to multiply what you have. You're looking to multiply what you have. And sowing is intentionally planting into opportunities that yield. Intentionally planting into opportunities that yield. Though some people will say, but I'm already saving. Is it not the same? Not quite. When you sow, you're investing. You're investing. And this sowing now is not just that, you invested in one business. You can invest in yourself, personal development, trainings. This is part of sowing, multiplying what you have. When you spend on trainings, you are multiplying what you have. You are improving yourself. You're growing yourself. So that is also part of sowing. Let me tell us that. Let me put that in there. Investments, part of sowing. Like I said, personal development, and then generosity. There is nothing wrong with giving to others. There's nothing wrong. It is even expected of us, if we are Christians, to give to others. So generosity is part of it. So generally, sowing is planting resources with the expectation that those resources will grow. Whether financially, spiritually, relationally, whatever, planting resources with the expectation that those resources that you have planted, they will grow. That is sowing. So, you have saved, ensure that you are sowing. You can sow into people, mentorship, generosity, charity. They're all part of it. These are the types of ways that you can sow into people, sow into opportunities, your skills, education, businesses, um, no investment opportunities. Sow into opportunities. Intentionally look out for opportunities that will grow your money. Intentionally look out for opportunities that will grow your money. Recently, this thing has been on my mind, and I tried to get a few of my friends together so that we can do it. I'm still thinking about it. I am still thinking about it because truly, I've seen that recently my mind is constantly coming up with ideas of how to invest in one thing or the other. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to share the idea. I changed my mind. But, I shared it with a couple of my friends, and I don't have the money to do it myself. Truly, I don't have the money to invest in this thing myself. But if myself and a few of my friends can put hands together, we can actually do it. I think it is an excellent idea, and I think it will work. Like I said, my mind these days have just been thinking what you can do. I've been thinking a lot about real estate, not just purchasing land, but maybe buying houses, then renting them out. A lot of areas that we can invest, that we can put money with the intention that that money is going to bring a return. So you're not doing it. Who says please share? Oh, charity. Yeah, okay. Okay. These what they call these tents that they use for that they use for events, these big tents. I believe that those tents are sold, and they're not as expensive as I thought. Really, they are not. So I had in mind that I can invest in those tents, buy some, bring it, establish, set them up somewhere, wherever in Nigeria, and it's money. I really believe it's something that can work. And there are other things, there's so many other things that around the event management area. There's so many things that you can buy. They are not that expensive. They're really not. When you look at um, what people are making from them, and you look at how much those things really cost, they are not that bad. They're not that expensive. So I thought, in that area, event planning, rentals, but not like rentals of plates, or chairs, not those things, but like the tents themselves and such things. So it is a business opportunity. I mean, okay, I said it out there. Somebody can always pick it up and continue. I really don't mind. For me, I've sown now. I've sown it into somebody's heart. I've sown it into somebody's mind. So pick it up and run with it. Then sowing into the kingdom, for those of us that are Christians, sowing into the kingdom is a type of sowing. Tithes, offerings, givings. These are the things we should do. If you are able to keep this balance between your savings, your sowing, and your spending, honestly, you will have a less stressful life. Let me just put it that way. Let me just put it that way. You have a less stressful life. Yeah, so welcome, Kelechi. I can say, okay, also say, let me know later. I've already let the cat out of the bag now, so it's out there. If you're interested to partner with me, you can still partner with me. Let's get this done. Yes, so that is sowing. Um, to really maximize your sowing, you should have like a fixed percentage that you want to invest or you want to sow. Please excuse me. As I told us earlier, I'm having a little cold, so my throat is scratchy. All right, so have like a fixed percentage. You can start with 10%. When you have a fixed percentage of your total income that you want to invest, that you want to sow, it actually helps you do the sowing. It actually helps you do the investing, rather than when you just have this idea in your head, okay, I will invest or I will sow. But when you dedicate a fixed percentage, let me not say a fixed amount, a fixed percentage. I prefer to work in percentages, because when we work in percentages, we don't um, get fixated on the amount. We don't get fixated on the amount. If I say I want to set aside, for example, 100,000 to invest, I can get fixated on the 100,000. And I know when an opportunity that is more than 100,000 presents itself, I'm like, no, my cap is 100,000. That is one. Then two, I can also get fixated on the fact that somebody else is investing 2 million. So I like to deal in percentages. Dedicate a fixed percentage, 10%. So I'm investing 10% of my income. It's possible that person that's also doing the 2 million, 5 million is also investing 10% of their income. You see, it levels the playing field. Well, in our minds, it levels the playing field. So I like to work in percentages and not in absolute figures. So dedicate a fixed percentage for investing. Then research before investing. Research before investing. Don't just because you heard this business is working, you pack your money, put there. No. Do your research. Ask questions. Find out about this thing that you want to do. Find about this business you want to go into. What are the details of it? Really ask questions. Do your research. I remember that when this cryptocurrency was just coming out, one of the things they would always tell you is do your own research. Do your own research. DYOR. Excuse me. Do your research. Don't put money where you have not researched. Don't put money where you have not gotten reasonable level of information. No. So before investing, before sowing, do your research. Even when you're sowing into yourself by the trainings you do your research. Every training is not for you. Every training is not for you. Every training will not benefit you. I remember there was one program then in Port Harcourt. Everybody, the hype was everywhere. And the more I looked at this program, the more I felt this is not for me. It looked like, really, it looked like it should be something I should be interested in. It looked like it. Going by the hype and everything, it looked like something I should be part of. But I did my research and I just knew that this will not work out as it should. I just knew that this thing is more hype than anything else. And when this program ended and some of the people that went began to say a few things, I knew that yes, I really did not, it would not have been for me at all. So do your research, find out really about this thing you want to invest your money, your time into. Do your research. And then diversify. They've been telling us this since we can remember. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify. Don't sow in one place. Don't sow in one place. Diversify. Spread out your sowings. The Bible even tells us to, scatter it, spread it out, scatter the seed, spread out your sowings. Let it be in different things. You're investing in real estate. You're investing in businesses. That's people's businesses. You're investing in yourself, personal development. You're investing in people. You're mentoring some people. Spread it out. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Then spending. Let's move on to spending. I'm checking the time. Let's move on to spending. Now, spending is like stewardship in action. It's using your resources, but using it with clarity, using it not just on impulse. Ensuring that you're spending the money that you're spending, ensuring that it aligns with your values, with your purpose. That's where you're spending your money. This is my own way of defining spending. That's using your money in alignment with your values, in alignment with your priorities, in alignment with your goals, not just on impulse. As I'm saying this, I'm realizing that 2 3 days ago, I spent money on impulse. I spent money on impulse. I'm not seeing where it's aligning. As I'm saying this, I'm thinking about it and I'm not seeing where those expenditures align. Not all. But as I'm talking, I'm doing more thought into the things I spent money on recently. Some, yes, some align, but quite a number is just spending money. I was just spending money, which is never the best. Do not spend money on impulse. Do not allow your emotions get the best of you. Do not allow your emotions get the best of you. Try not to even spend money emotionally. Think through your expenditures. Think through it. Think through it. It is essential that we don't spend money on impulses. When I say this, doesn't mean that you will not. Maybe you just want to give yourself a treat. That's different. That's different from what I'm saying. Have you ever bought something that you absolutely had no need for? Many of us have done it. I have done it. As in, I have absolutely no real need for this thing, but I was just moved by emotion at the moment and I purchased it. Not the best. As much as possible, avoid that. Avoid it like the plague. So, in order to spend wisely, you need to be able to um, differentiate differentiate between your needs and your wants. You have to be able to differentiate between your needs and your wants. Your needs must be met. So when we are talking about aligning to purpose, your needs must be met. So ensure that your needs are met. Your wants are the areas you need to be wise. But also in differentiating needs and wants, you need to be wise. Because some of us do not differentiate, will I say accurately, between our needs and our wants. Some things that should be wants, we have turned them to needs. Now, I'm not going to come and give us a list of what our needs, because needs do differ. Needs differ. And you have to sit and tell yourself the truth. Is this a need or is this a want? If it is a need, ensure that you meet it. Put money there, ensure those needs are met. But if it is a want, think about if you really need it. Does this want align to my goals? Does this want align to my values? Does this want move me forward? Is this want helping me to grow, or is it wasting? Once you can have that discussion with yourself, once you can have that discussion with yourself, then spending wisely becomes easier. Becomes easier. The next thing is delay gratification. See, there are some purchases, if we just allow ourselves to sleep on it, we will not make in the morning. Especially, big. I'm not talking about small. You want to spend 1,000 here or there. I mean, big purchases that will take up a huge portion of our finances. If we sleep on it, we wake up in the morning, we will not make some of those purchases. I am telling you the truth. I have had situations where I thought, this is a good place to put money, but I just decided to sleep on it. I was like, okay, I'll give it some thought. Tomorrow, I'll decide what to do. Tomorrow, new information became available, and that was not the best decision for me. So, delayed gratification. The world most probably will not end if you don't spend that money today. Yes. Sometimes we do think that if I don't do this thing now, tomorrow it will be too late. I've had people come with like investment opportunities for me, and initially it looked so good, and I was ready to put my money in, but I gave it thought. I sat back and looked at it again. I slept on it, woke up knowing that no, this is not where I need to put my money. But if I had allowed the emotions of the moment, I would have put my money there, and maybe it would be lost. I don't know, but I gave it thought. The good thing about giving thought to your decisions before you make them is that even if, let's assume, later on, okay, you chose not to put your money into this thing, and then later on you see that thing doing well, the regret factor is reduced because you thought it through and you know why you didn't put your money in there. Because it's not everywhere that your money needs to be. It's not every trending business that your money needs to be. So think it through. It must align with your values, your goals, your life purpose. This is the key. This is the key. It has to align. If it does not, don't even give it a second thought. Don't give it a second thought. Don't allow regret to even come in because this does not align with your values, your goals, your life purposes. Okay, so then I also advise people when it comes to spending, try and spend more on things that have long-term benefits, things that have long-term value, things that in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years are still valuable. Try. That is the best, really, um, way to spend money. Not the one that after 2 3 days you're wondering why did I. No. So prioritize spending money on things that have long-term value. Prioritize it. Your financial well-being will thank you for it. Let me put it that way. Okay. So now we have looked at savings, we have looked at sowing, we looked at spending. How do we now master the flow between these three things? Technology today is okay. All right. So, how do we master this flow? Because, like I said, the key is to master the flow between these three things. Money, think of money like water. Think of money like water. And if there's too much water in one place, what does it mean? Stagnation. When we have a lot of water in one place, we say it's stagnant. And stagnant water does not breathe any life. It doesn't. When you have stagnant water, hardly does anything survive in stagnant water. But when the water is, having a flow, ebbs and flows, is coming in, is going out, there's life. There is life. So let this guide your life and financial life decisions. There has to be a flow. There has to be a rhythm between saving, sowing, spending. They're not supposed to compete. They're actually supposed to complement each other. They are actually supposed to complete each other. You're saving, you're sowing, you're spending. They are not supposed to be competing. So you have to be able to balance these three aspects so that none cancels out the other. None cancels out the other. So you can achieve this by starting with, once again, I go to my percentages, starting using a simple percentage of, I'm saying, for example, I will save 20% of my income, I will sow 10% of my income, then I will spend 50, 60, 70, it depends, percent of your income. Start with a simple ratio. Start with a simple ratio. Once again, I'm careful not to say it must be 20%, it must be 10%, it must be 70%. It must not be any percent, but there should be a percent. There's no fixed number. There are some recommended numbers, of course. There are some recommended numbers. Most times the recommendation is 20% savings, 10% sowing, 70% spending. That is the um normal, let me use that word, ratio. But you can adjust. You can adjust, because when we think of sowing, we're thinking of 10% tithe for Christians. So what it means, does it mean that once you have removed your tithe, you cannot sow anything again? So this is why I'm like, this percentages cannot be fixed, but there has to be a percentage that you sow. So for someone like me who already pays my 10% tithe, it means that my sowing has to be more than 10%. It has to be maybe 20, 30%, because I've already moved my 10% tithe. Then maybe I now want to take another 10% and invest in something. All right, so start with a simple flow ratio. Like, once again, that ratio is not cast in stone. It's not, it must be 20, it must be 10. Adjust as necessary. This is your life we're talking about. It's not mine. You understand? It's your life. You know what would work for you. So adjust, but start with a simple flow ratio. It helps. All right. Then the next thing, once you establish this flow ratio, review it. Don't think because I said 20% of my money has to be saved, and now that they need to adjust it either up or down. I don't. Review every month and see if these percentages are still working. See if they are still working. If they are not working, make adjustments. But most importantly, whether you're saving, you're sowing, you're spending, ensure that they align with your values. Ensure that they align with your values. Whatever you're saving on, whatever you're sowing into, whatever you're spending money on, ensure that they are aligned with who you're trying to become. They're aligned with your values. They're aligned with your goals. See this, just this simple act of ensuring that your expenditure aligns with your values. It reduces how much you spend unintentionally. It ensures that you're not throwing money away. It ensures that you're not wasteful with your finances. So make sure, whichever one you're saving, you're sowing, you're spending, ensure that it aligns with your values. Okay, so I think that's basically yeah, in spending also. Just I was just going through my head now. When spending, consider quality over quantity. When spending, consider quality over quantity. I know that sometimes quality can be expensive, but really, when we do the analysis, you find that when you buy quality, maybe for the next 1, 2, 3 years, you don't need to replace whatever it is you bought. But when you just buy because it's cheap, next month you're changing it. By the time you change 2, 3 times, it has exceeded the money you would have spent if you bought quality. So consider in spending wisely, in ensuring that you're spending wisely, consider quality over quantity. Yeah, that was something I wanted to also point out. All right, so going forward, ensure that every income that you make is allocated in these three systems: sowing, spending, saving. Ensure that you split it across these areas and have your percentage. Have your percentage. Have your simple ratio, the one that works for you. And yeah, I need to say this: track your money leaks. Track your money leaks. This is generally where small, unnoticed spending drains your income. I think I gave an example the other day about how data and credit was becoming a leak for my money. And I didn't realize it when it was happening until I sat down and looked at my finances. So find those leaks and plug them up. Find those leaks and plug them up. And you can only find those leaks when you do a review of your spending, honestly. If you're not able to sit and review, what did I spend money on last month? What did I spend money on 2 months ago? You will not find the leaks. There was a company that I think I went to do a training. So I just decided to use their expense trail to just explain some things. And I noticed that in a period of 2, 3, okay, it was the 1 year expenses that I had. I noticed that in a period of 2, 3, 4 months, their expenses on vehicle was increasing, vehicle repairs. It was just increasing. So I just casually asked, did you purchase a new car? They said no. There was no new vehicle purchase. I said, okay. Did your cars become very old? Because you're spending a lot on vehicle repairs suddenly over, is increasing each month, increasing each month. So I had to ask that question. And they were like, no, our cars are still relatively new. So why are your vehicle repair expenses increasing? If not that I looked at their books and tried to analyze the way their expenses were going, I wouldn't have seen that. And they wouldn't have now had to sit down and figure out what was happening. I'm sure, I don't know what they finally decided, because it was not my place to do that. I only went there to do a training and decided to use their figures as part of the training. Now, if I was their consultant, I would have begun to put eye into what the drivers are doing. How do they receive the money to do the repairs? How are the mechanics paid? The whole thing. But if there was no review, that would not have been seen. So ensure that you review how you're spending money so that you can track your money leaks. We all have them. We all have them. Sometimes it's something as little as you're spending unnecessary amount of money eating out. Unnecessary. And I'm not saying eating out is bad, but track your money leaks. And you can only track this when you review. So review where your money is going, how much you're spending on what every month. Then you will discover your money leaks. Then try to build what do I call them now? Like ensure that you have like monthly financial check-ins, what have you. Ensure that you're journaling your expenses. Ensure that you have like a ritual, because that helps you. I don't, is ritual the word? Yeah, I guess it's ritual. I can't think of any other word right off my. What is Spotify? Also, you said Spotify too. I'm not sure I understand what. Oh, the money leaks. Okay, I guess you're talking about areas that your money is leaking and you don't realize it. Yes. Yeah. So, but like you would never know until you begin to do this review. So ensure that you're having monthly check-in, financial check-ins. I ask people, if you go out today and you come back in the evening, can you itemize what you spent your money on? Okay, yeah, it's money leaks, yes. Can you itemize what you spent your money on today? Can you sit down in the evening and itemize to the nearest kobo, cent, what you spent? If you're not able to do that to a reasonable extent, then you have a problem managing your finances, and you need to be able to sit down and do that. Okay, so have your monthly check-ins, have your weekly check-ins, have your daily check-ins, financial check-ins. It will help you keep control of your finances. This is not you being um, what's that word they used to say, accountants? Because we don't this accountants apparently don't like to spend money. I say apparently because I'm an accountant that spends my money, but accountants apparently don't like to spend money. So people assume that all this, track your money leaks, build your rituals is part of the accounting. No, it helps you manage your finances. It helps you have a grip on where your money is going. Helps you have a grip on where your money is going. And so you can discover areas that you can cut off. There are some things we must not spend money on, really. If you sit down and check, you will find there are things you must not spend money on. There are things. All right. So going forward, please do review your current flow. How much are you saving? How much are you sowing? How much are you spending? How much have you saved? How much have you sown? How much have you spent? Review your current flow and commit this week. Commit to at least redirect portions of your income, portions of your inflow into either savings or sowing. I advocate increasing your savings, increasing your sowing, but I don't really advocate increasing your spending. If you can reduce your spending, perfect. But you can increase your savings, you can increase your sowing because these ones generate a return. But general spending does not generate any kind of return. Okay, so yeah, then practice is it generally I want to call it, practice tracking your expenditures. It will help you. It will help you. Practice it. Practice um, writing down how you're spending money and keeping track of it. So, in closing, money. We're supposed to be stewards of money. We're supposed to be good stewards of the monies that's coming to our hands. Our money is for growth. Our money is for impact. Our money is for us to do good. Our money is for us to expand, to impact our generation. Our money is not to be our master. Money is not meant to determine for you how you live your life. You are meant to determine how you spend your money. You are meant to determine where your money goes. You are meant to determine what your money does. So, learn how to save, learn how to sow, learn how to spend wisely so that you are creating wealth, yes, but you are also creating legacy. All right. I think that is where I will, that is where I will draw the curtain today on this session. I'm trying to confirm what we have next week. And please do remember to make today and every day count. Be valuable in whatever you are doing. Whatever it is you are doing, be valuable. And ensure that you are always growing. Ensure, no matter what, ensure that you are always growing. Thank you for joining me. Okay, yes, there are bank apps to help with tracking. There are so many, not even just bank. There are regular apps on the App Store, but you have to be careful with apps on the App Store too. But stick with your bank apps, yes, that will help you track your expenditure. Most bank apps have that. Most bank apps have that. And I've told us about the Piggyverse. I've told us about Rise. These are established financial institutions even though they're all online based, but they help you save, they help you track your expenditure, they help you, spend wisely too. So make use of those things. That's what they're there for. That's what they're there for. So thank you once again for joining me this afternoon. I do hope that you got some value from our discussion today on saving, sowing, and spending wisely. We talked about budgeting last week, and today we looked at saving, sowing, and spending wisely. And next week we're going to look at multiplying what you have. Multiplying what you have. That is habits that grow your wealth. Multiplying what you have. And we will end this series with talking about financial integrity. That's managing what's not yours too. That's how we're going to end this series on financial intelligence for growth. That's money habits that help you build wealth. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope, as I said, that you got value. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles. I don't know, whether we are receiving value from the things that we talk about here. If you are, please share with others. Share with others. Let others know that something like this is happening, on Tuesdays. Invite others. Share the links with others so that other people will benefit from what you're also benefiting. Okay, thank you all once again for joining me. Those that watch the replay, God bless you. I know, the time, we still have to look at this timing. We still have to look at it. We might have to adjust the timing, but meantime, 12 noon every Tuesday, we're here on Growth Habits. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. You can follow on any of those channels and watch live. You can also catch the replays on YouTube and Facebook. I think you can also catch it on Instagram. I've never really looked at that very well, but I'm sure Facebook and YouTube, you can catch the replays of all these sessions. Thank you all once again for joining me. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day. All right. Bye.